Hare Krishna. So I'm really grateful to be invited here to speak about our founder Acharya, Srila Prabhupada. We owe him our very lives, actually, to Srila Prabhupada. Yes, we wouldn't exist, actually, spiritually, without his mercy. So we should be eternally grateful to Srila Prabhupada. He risked his own life to come to the West and to give us life. He risked his own life. He was warned by many people, don't go to the West. You'll die there. It's extremely cold. You're not used to such conditions. And you're old person, don't go. But he nevertheless, he decided to go. And against all odds, he received somehow or other the ticket for the cargo ship, not even the passenger ship, but cargo ship. Of course, nowadays we fly with airplanes and go around, but he received a ticket just for a cargo ship. Yes. So, like a sack of potato. Yes. He was carried over the oceans, and what is extremely difficult. He suffered 2 heart attacks. Can you imagine at this age to suffer 2 heart attacks on the boat, which is unstable? First he suffered terrible seasickness. Have you ever experienced seasickness in your life? 4, 5, 6. So many of you, Sweden is by the seaside. So many of you have sailed, maybe. Yes, I experienced only just slight seasickness once, but it wasn't pleasant. So he experienced severe seasickness. So we should know how extremely difficult that was for him. In Almvik, we discussed the 8 treasures that Lord Chaitanya accepted or collected, we can say, from different Sampradayas, from 4 different Sampradayas. And because I'm little in this mood, I would like to connect Srila Prabhupada's example and teachings to these treasures that Lord Chaitanya gave us from 4 different Sampradayas, with your permission. Is it okay to speak on this topic? Yes. So, Lord Chaitanya accepted from Madhva Sampradaya, in which he took initiation, 2 principles, Brahma Madhva Sampradaya. First is complete defeat of Mayavad philosophy. And we can see from Prabhupada's books, he demolished Mayavad philosophy. He took this treasure of Lord Chaitanya by heart, to his heart, and he really smashed Mayavad to pieces in his books. And following example of his spiritual master Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who was really also really strong, strongly preached against Mayavada. So much so that I remember when I received Prabhupada's books, I was taken aback. This Mayavad is here, and Mayavad is there, and Mayavad is this, and Mayavad is that. I thought, where are these Mayavadis? That must be some sect he didn't like in in India. But here in the West there are no Mayavadis. Such was my thought. But later on I realized that the whole world is permeated with Mayavad philosophy. So it's so important that Srila Prabhupada gave us this awareness of Mayavada. Otherwise, we wouldn't recognize Mayavad if Prabhupada wouldn't preach so strongly against it. Yes. He was expert in emphasizing certain point. If he started to emphasize certain point, he didn't leave it just with one statement, but he emphasized from all different angles of vision and proved his point very strongly, very strongly. Yes, because Mayavad philosophy is ruining the lives of everyone. Yes, can kill our propensity to love Krishna, and this is the most grievous criminal, we can say. It's less demoniac to kill a person, just body is killed. If we kill this propensity to love Krishna, it's much worse criminal. Yes. So we should know that Prabhupada, from his mercy and compassion, demolished Mayavad philosophy. And we should follow his example in this regard, and also fight very strongly against Mayavad. First in our heart. Because it can be covered. We cannot even recognize it. For example, the desire for liberation is some aspect of Mayavad philosophy. And this idea, I just want to go back home, back to Godhead, and we don't have this service mentality in mind, is just kind of Mayavad philosophy, just desire for liberation, actually, from suffering. Yeah, so we should be on guard. First, we should understand Prabhupada's preaching and Prabhupada's philosophy, and then we should be on guard ourselves first, and then try to rescue this world from Mayavad philosophy. Okay, this was the first treasure that Lord Chaitanya accepted from Brahma Madhva Sampradaya. And the second one was worship of the deity of Lord Krishna, especially focused on Lord Krishna. Yes. And we can see Prabhupada established everywhere, in every sentence, a worship of the deities. Yes, and he also established very strongly that Krishna is Bhagavan Swayam. That every other forms of the Lord, they come from Krishna. Yes, we all know this. It's not just his sentimental speech or writings, but everything is supported by Shastra. Iti chamshakalah pumsam Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indra Rivyakulam Lokan Mridayanti Yuge Yuge. And Bhagavatam itself establishes this fact that all other incarnations and expansions of Supreme Personality of Godhead are just coming from Krishna, who is Bhagavan Swayam. Yes. So we should be completely dedicated to worship of Krishna. Yes. And this is exemplified in Shastra by Narottam Das Thakur mentions very interestingly. He said that we should take example of Hanuman, who is not a devotee of Krishna, but his strong determination in worship of Lord Ram should be our example to worship Lord Krishna. Yes. And he quotes Hanuman in Prima Bhakti Chandrika, and he says, Hanuman says that, yes, I know that there is no difference between Lord Narayan, Lord in the heart, and Ram, my Lord Ram, but nevertheless, I worship only my Lord Ram. So this conviction we should have for Lord Krishna. Yes. And Prabhupada strongly emphasized this, and we also, of course, know that Lord Chaitanya himself is also Krishna personally. He's not different from Lord Krishna. So Lord Chaitanya or Krishna, this is the same deity. Yes. Just appearance is different. And mood. Because Lord Krishna wanted to experience the mood of Srimati Radharani. So it's most intimate and confidential form of Krishna is Lord Chaitanya. Yes, and Prabhupada gave us both understandings of Krishna, Vrindavan Krishna, and Lord Chaitanya as the Lord of Navadvip Dham. Yes. So, and then we have Shri Sampradaya, Ramanuja Sampradaya, from which Lord Chaitanya accepted two treasures again. And the first one is pure devotional service, pure bhakti, ananya bhakti. And Prabhupada strongly emphasized that our movement, International Society for Krishna Consciousness, is movement for pure devotional service. He said that there are so many spiritual groups and religious groups which don't propagate pure devotional service to the Lord. So there should be one which exclusively propagates Ananya Bhakti, pure devotional service. So Prabhupada, and of course following in the footsteps of previous acharyas, he strongly emphasized pure devotional service. How everything that is motivated by anything else than Lord's pleasure is mixed devotional service or not devotional service at all. So we should follow his example. First, we ourselves should embrace the path of pure devotional service and share it with others uncompromisingly. Uncompromisingly. Yes. Because if we compromise pure devotional service, then everything is lost. The mission of Prabhupada is lost. Yes. Because there are so much mixed religions in this world which are not following pure devotional service, and they don't even know it. For example, they think that praying for peace is something spiritual. But it's not. It's material desire. Maybe it's the mode of goodness, but it's not bhakti. It's not bhakti. Yes, because you want some material benefit to live in peace. Or if we pray for health or anything like this, it's business mentality. I served so much and I expect something in return. Yes, this is business mentality. Prahlad Maharaj explained. This is Vanik mentality. Vanik means merchant. Merchant. Yes. So we shouldn't have this merchant mentality. Yes, I served so many years, so I deserve to be heard, or I deserve to be cared for, or deserve to yes, to be saved from material perils. No, this is not pure devotional service. We should understand first what is pure devotional service ourselves and teach it to others. Otherwise, the whole mission of Srila Prabhupada will be lost. Yes, we shouldn't allow this. Yes, Prabhupada extremely strongly emphasized pure devotional service, pure devotional service. So one may ask, how can we follow pure devotional service if we are not pure? Isn't it? Do any of you have this doubt? Hare Krishna. Yes. We should know something, that our sadhya or our goal depends on our sadhana. So if we practice mixed devotional service, our goal will not be pure also. So we may not attain perfection yet, of course. If we are sadhakas, that by definition it means that we have not attained perfection. That means that we have impurities in our heart. But we should follow the path of pure devotional service. That means that we strive to and pray to Krishna to help us to purify our heart for His pleasure. Yes, to get rid of all unwanted desires, all unwanted things in our life, and so on. So we should take this example from Srila Prabhupada. He spent every night writing books about pure devotional service, that we would understand what is pure and what is mixed. Yes. He spent all nights writing this. Can you imagine? He was well over 70 years old. How old are you?
Soon 68. 68 soon.
68. You'll be soon. And you are 70.
Yeah.
You're 70. And how old are you?
Like him.
68. Yes. Can you imagine? He was... Me? I'm young. 55. Yeah. Yes. So, but can you imagine in this age, at 70 and 75, and even that he travels all over the world, all the time, giving classes, writing letters, and writing books every day for several hours, sleeping 2 hours per day from 10 p.m. to midnight. Yes, extremely austere life, just to give us this understanding. Yes, what is pure and what is mixed. Bhakti. Yes. So we should really deeply understand this gift ourselves and give it to others. Give it to others. So this was the first treasure that Lord Chaitanya accepted from Ramanuja Sampradaya, Sri Ramanuja Sampradaya. And the second is service of the devotees. Service to the devotees. Yes, and this is extremely important also. We know from Shastra that Krishna himself says that one who claims to be my devotee, but if he's not devotee of my devotees, he is not my devotee. Only devotee of my devotee is my devotee. Yes. So Vaishnava Seva is really important that we understand. Vaishnavas are extremely dear to Krishna. Krishna says in 7th chapter of Bhagavata-dharma that those 4 categories that turn to him are all great souls, and Jnani among them is equal to himself. Yes. Udarak sarva evite jnanit matmaiva me matam astitah sahi yuktatma mameva nugatam gatim. Yes. So he's equal to me. But for Uddhava, he said, he's better than me. My devotee I consider better than Lakshmi, than Balaram, than Brahma and Shiva, and even myself. And my devotee is better even than myself. So he says, actually, he's better than my wife, better than my son, better than my expansion, better than my brother, and even better than I myself to me. So he's more dear to, devotee is more dear to him than he himself is dear to himself. And Prabhupada exhibited this service to the devotees to the highest limit. Yes. First he created devotees from a bunch of total crazy people, in fact, and they turned away from their own religion, actually. But he made devotees from such people and served them. He served his whole life. He taught them everything, from cooking to how to behave, how to bathe. Yes. And for example, he in Russia, he met this Anatoly for just few days, and he taught him everything. Yes. And by writing books, of course, this was invaluable service to the devotees. He actually sacrificed his life for the benefit of the devotees. Yes. Who can do it better than Srila Prabhupada? I don't know if there is an example who did more service than Prabhupada for the devotees. I doubt it that there is one. Yes. We can say this, Goswamis from Vrindavan, and they also performed extreme services for the devotees. For example, Raghunath Das Goswami offered 2,000 full Dandavata obeisances every day to the devotees. Yes, so we should know from example of Srila Prabhupada and from our acharyas how important, and from Krishna himself, how important are devotees. Yes, so we should serve them. And Lord Chaitanya, when he was initiated by Ishvara Puri in Gaya, when he returned back to Navadvip, he served menially the devotees. He washed their clothes and served them in every regard. Yes. And even Krishna himself is serving his devotees. So, what is our position? Our position is just to be the servant of the servant of the servant of Lord's servants. Yes. And this is the highest aspiration that Lord Chaitanya gave us. Naham vipronachanare patir napavaishu nashudro. Naham varnina chagriha patir nova nastoya triva. Kintu prodhangi nikila paramananta purnam nitaptir. Gopi bhartu padakamalar dasa dasa no dasa. Yes, so dasa no das is the highest position. Even Lord Jesus said so. If someone amongst you wants to be the highest, you should serve everyone. You should be menial servant of everyone. Yes, we should have this idea. Devotees are extremely dear to Krishna. And my only hope is if I worship and serve the devotees. Yes, this is my only hope. Because I'm full of impurities, and everyone should know that he's full of impurities. Once I heard a very interesting statement. I think it is not from devotees, but it's nevertheless very interesting. One said that it's interesting that no one knows so much bad things about myself as myself. But in the same time, no one thinks of me so good as myself. Isn't it interesting? So no one knows so much bad things about ourselves than we do. But we think of ourselves better than everyone else. Hare Krishna. So, yes, we should accept our fallen position and serve the devotees with all our heart, and take example from Srila Prabhupada in this regard. And then Lord Chaitanya accepted also 2 treasures from Rudra Vishnu Swami Sampradaya. And the first treasure that he accepted is complete dependence on the mercy of the Lord. Complete dependence. And we can see Srila Prabhupada from the very beginning. When he came to America, he wrote Markine Bhagavata-dharma, famous song. And he wrote, I don't know why you have brought me here to this horrible place, permeated with modes of rajas and tamas. And I believe no one would understand what I'm talking to them. But you, my Lord, you can make them understand. You can make my words to be understandable to them. It's not in my power. So if you somehow or other brought me here, let me dance, my Lord, as you wish. So yes, he was completely dependent on the mercy of the Lord. And even when he boarded Jaladuta, this cargo ship, fragile cargo ship actually, he boarded with 40 rupees. 40 rupees was equivalent of $7. But the problem was that no one exchanged rupees in the USA. So practically speaking, he went penniless to America. Yes, with some box of books and some cereals, if there wouldn't be nothing else than meat. He brought some cereals with him. And he knew no one in America, not even a single person. First he stayed at some family in Butler, Pennsylvania. But can you imagine his courage? And he left this only people that he just recently met, and he left them also and went to New York alone at 70. Hare Krishna. Without money, without anything. And he lived there in ghettos of New York, in Bowery. And this was notorious ghetto. Actually, once I heard a lecture from my Gurudev, and he said if, because he had also two brothers, I believe, if the boys left mess in their room, mother said, "Do you think you live in Bowery?" So, although they were living in near Boston, Chicago, it was very far from New York. This Bowery was notorious to be lowest of the lowest places. So, even mother of children preached to them like this: "Do you think you live in Bowery?" So we should know how low class place it was. And Prabhupada had to step over drunkards. We know it's not proper to step over living entities because Lord Krishna is residing as a super soul. But it was so overlaid with drunkards and people stoned with some drugs that he couldn't avoid them. So he had to step over them. And it was rat infested and really disgusting place. But he had completely different vision. One, he walked there with little later with some of his followers, the early followers, and they complained how terrible this place is. But he saw their spiritual world. He saw Vrindavan there. So this is the vision of pure devotee. He can see even the most disgusting place as Goloka Vrindavan, as pasturing grounds of cows and gopas and gopis. Yes. So he was completely dependent on the mercy of the Lord. And he exhibited this conviction. If Krishna wants to do something, nothing is impossible. Therefore, he said, the impossible is the word in the Fool's Dictionary. Yes. So nothing is impossible. And he really exhibited this spirit. And because of his spirit, also his disciples believed in this spirit and achieved unbelievable things. For example, at the time, the Beatles were considered to be demigods in the West. Yes, more than the heads of state. They, at that time, they already stopped all public performances because it was impossible to control the crowd. There was a living wall of policemen, but they were overrun by crazy women, screaming crazy women. Yeah. Yes, they ran over police. No one could stop them. So, yes, it was unbelievable. You should see, there are shootings of this. So, if you don't believe my words, you can check. Screaming, yeah, screaming, running, completely in delirium, yes, in ecstasy. Yes, we should like to achieve such a state for Krishna. Yes, they should be our example. How we should love Krishna. Yes, how we should be mad for Krishna. So they were mad for the Beatles like this. So they stopped public performances. And Shyamasundar got this idea and asked Prabhupada, what do you think it's a good idea if we make the Beatles Hare Krishna, the devotees? And Prabhupada said, yeah, I think it would be a good idea. And they went to London under his instruction. And they went, two couples, and they had, I believe, $1,000 or something like this, or $500. Three couples, yes, three couples. And then they had not so much money, but they had to have some money to enter England. And then they sent this money to other couple that they could enter the UK with this money, and they sent it to the third couple to enter the and then when all three couples were in the UK, they sent this money back to Srila Prabhupada. Yes, and they were with little children. A little child was there, and they lived in some warehouses and in cupboards and cardboards. Really extremely austere, one may think. From such a condition, just in few weeks, they met George Harrison and made him a devotee. And Prabhupada, in few months from this, he lived in the state of John Lennon. Incredible, unbelievable. Yes, so we can see that impossible is the word in the full dictionary. Yes. Prabhupada exhibited this conviction that everything is possible. Everything is possible. Yes, because Krishna is all-powerful, is omniscient and omnipotent. So we should follow his example in this spirit also. That was complete dependence on the mercy of Krishna. And then the second treasure the Lord Chaitanya accepted from Rudra Sampradaya was Raga Bhakti. Raga Bhakti, of course, we know that Prabhupada really warned us about Raga Bhakti, that we shouldn't take it cheaply. But nevertheless, he established this Mangalarati, which is packed with Raga Bhakti. And this Mangalarati that Srila Prabhupada established is not standard Mangalarati in Gaudiya Math. They don't sing Guru Ashtaka, for example. And I don't think that they worship Tulsi after Mangalarati. And especially Prabhupada chose this song. There are many songs for glorifying Tulsi. But it's really deep meditation. The whole Mangalarati package is exclusively a Raganuga process, if we know what we sing. Yes, so we should take this deeply. First, that we should follow proper rules and regulations, because it is said in Ragavartma Chandrika by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, who is our Rasacharya. Shruti Smriti Puranati Pancharatra Vidim Vina Aikantiki Harir Bhakti Rutpate Eva Kalpate. That if we don't follow these rules and regulations of devotional service, it's just a disturbance and not devotional service. Even if it is so-called Aikantiki Bhakti, Aikantiki Bhakti. It's not devotional service in reality. So yes, this Raga Bhakti is path of meditation, of longing in the heart. But with our body, we perform the rules and regulations of Vaidhi Bhakti. And this is explained in Ragavartma Chandrika, as that it is proper procedure of Raganuga Bhakti. Yes. So Prabhupada gave us this, and he was writing this in his books extensively. Even if you, in the beginning, even before he translated Chaitanya Charitamrita, he gave us a summary, teachings of Lord Chaitanya, which is packed with this all most intimate information for us to understand. Yes. So we should understand this deeply and not cheaply. And take it seriously, because we shouldn't miss it. Lord Chaitanya comes only once in the day of Brahma. That means in 640 million years, once. So we have the only opportunity in this 8,640 million years. Can you imagine? 8 billion. So we shouldn't miss it. We shouldn't miss it. We should take it seriously. It's one life opportunity. One in many lifetimes opportunity. So take it seriously. Prabhupada gave us all, but not in the cheap way, because if it is taken cheaply, then we cheat ourselves. Yes. Then we just cheat ourselves and also miss the opportunity, because we approach it with material desires, not with spiritual desires. Yes. And we will ruin our opportunity to develop this Raga Bhakti. So Prabhupada gave us the most proper understanding of Raga Bhakti, because we can see many neophyte devotees don't understand this properly, and they think that there is no Raga aspect in ISKCON many times, and they search it outside, which is great shame and misfortune. Great misfortune, because there they will take it cheaply and they will ruin their lives, as they will miss the opportunity with misunderstandings and so on. So we should understand it deeply, and take it to our heart as the most precious gem, and teach it also to others in proper way, that they wouldn't cheat themselves. Okay, and this is the second gem from Rudra Sampradaya, and then is the fourth Sampradaya, Kumara Nimbarka Sampradaya, and he accepted also two treasures from this Sampradaya. First is taking complete shelter of Srimati Radharani. Yes. And we can see that Srila Prabhupada, although he was so cautious about misunderstanding of these highest aspects of devotional service. He, nevertheless, even in the beginning years, he was explaining about Srimati Radharani. He was talking about Srimati Radharani. He didn't avoid this topic of Srimati Radharani. And he explained that Krishna can be satisfied only by satisfying Srimati Radharani. And that no one can approach Krishna without Srimati Radharani, without satisfaction of Srimati Radharani. Yes. And this was the mood of all of our acharyas, not just Srila Prabhupada. Narottam Das Thakur says that if someone is worshipping Krishna but not Srimati Radharani, I don't want to see his face. Yes. Hare Krishna. So, and it's very interesting that Srila Prabhupada, when he wrote Krishna book, because he wanted to give the world this knowledge about Krishna, and he feared that he might leave the world before he translates Srimad Bhagavatam till 10th canto. And so he published the Krishna book. And he dedicated this book to whom?
His father.
To his father, Guru Mohan De. Yes, interesting, isn't it? A sannyasi, he dedicated a book to his bodily father, not to his spiritual master, to Bhaktisiddhanta, but to Guru Mohan De, to his biological father. And his father, he was really also a great example of one who was serving devotees. He was inviting sadhus every day to their house. And usually people in India, they ask these sadhus for different material boons. And also Prabhupada met a lot of such people that they asked him for material boons. Once, before I will tell this story with his father, there was some person really persistent. Swamiji, Swamiji, give me your mercy, give me your blessings, give me your blessings. And Prabhupada didn't bother about him. But he was persistent. And following Srila Prabhupada, Swamiji, Swamiji, give me your blessings, give me your blessings. And finally, Prabhupada turned to him and said, I bless you that your material life is finished. and he collapsed and said, not such blessings. But actually, this was the highest possible blessing. Yes, the highest possible blessing he received from Srila Prabhupada. But he wasn't satisfied with such a blessing. So, Guru Mohan De, his father, also asked sadhus. Every sadhu he invited, and every day he invited sadhus. But he also asked every sadhu he invited for the blessing. And what he asked for? The only blessing he asked for was that his son would become a servant of Srimati Radharani, a pure devotee of Srimati Radharani. This was the only blessing he asked these different sadhus. And indeed, he received a son who was pure devotee of Srimati Radharani. Yeah. This was Srila Prabhupada. So Srila Prabhupada, pure devotee of Srimati Radharani. Yes. So we should take his example, and we should become servants of his servants, because he is a servant of Srimati Radharani. And so we can be accepted by Srimati Radharani also if we take shelter of Srila Prabhupada and serve him faithfully. Yes, this is the highest blessing we can get if we engage in the service of Srimati Radharani through serving Srila Prabhupada. And then there is a last treasure the Lord accepted from Kumara Sampradaya in Barka, and it is Gopi Bhava. That is a very high topic, but Prabhupada exhibited the highest form of Gopi Bhava. What is Gopi Bhava? What is their bhava of the gopis? To serve. Yes. To serve whom? Krishna? Radharani? Yes, to bring Radha and Krishna together. This is their main concern. Their life is just for this purpose. To bring Radha and Krishna together. To facilitate their meeting. Yes, their existence is dedicated to this service. They're either messengers or they help them in different ways, just for their pleasure. And as we know, Srimati Radharani is Parashakti. She's original Shakti, original potency of Krishna. All other potencies emanate from Srimati Radharani. And that means that also Tatashta Shakti, living entities, emanates from Srimati Radharani. Therefore, every living entity is particle of Srimati Radharani. And Srila Prabhupada, in the mood of the gopis, in Gopi Bhava, wanted to make these living entities as particles of Srimati Radharani to meet with Krishna. Yes, he dedicated his life for this purpose. He was writing books for this purpose. And he was teaching tirelessly for this purpose. He was circumambulating the globe for this purpose. Yes. To bring particles of Srimati Radharani in union with Krishna. So we should take this example to our hearts and assist him in this mission of bringing living entities to Krishna. This is true Gopi Bhava. No one who claims to be Bhajananandi and doesn't perform this service to the Lord, to Srimati Radharani, can be counted as pure servant of Srimati Radharani. As it is one who serves Srimati Radharani by bringing her particles in union with Krishna. Yes, so Prabhupada exhibited the highest possible Gopi Bhava. Gopi Bhava. Yes, as a servant of the servant of the servant of Srimati Radharani. Yes. Okay, thank you very much. Yes, you have a question.
You said that the Vishnu Swami was giving Bhava Bhakti. So, what
Vishnu Swami?
Huh?
Raga Bhakti.
Raga Bhakti.
Yes.
So what is this Raga Bhakti? Is it Raganuga or is it Ragatmika Bhakti?
We have two things. First is Ragatmika Bhakti. Ragatmika Bhakti is love of the residents of Vrindavan towards Krishna. Yes. So this is not
Bhakti that the eternal associates of the Lord.
Yes. No, they don't practice. They
following in their footsteps.
Yes, Raganuga is following in their footsteps.
What did Vishnu Swami give?
Raganuga. Yes. We cannot there is no path of Ragatmika Bhakti, because this is perfection. Following the path of sadhana bhakti is Raganuga Bhakti. That means we haven't achieved this state yet, therefore we practice it.
It's an editorial error in the Nectar of Devotion that makes many devotees confuse these two.
No, maybe?
No, that's because the chapter that describes Raganuga Bhakti
Yes.
starts with a description of Ragatmika Bhakti. But it's said, it's said there that it's called Raganuga Bhakti. That's a mistake.
Maybe, yes.
No, it's a mistake. It's no doubt. It's not from Prabhupada. It comes from the editor.
So if it comes from editors, it should be fixed.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
problem is that there is no, you cannot go back to Prabhupada's dictations because they have been erased.
Re-recorded, maybe, many times. Yes, and then we should take help from the original text, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, because everything can be checked, double-checked there.
That's one reason devotees, they are so hesitant about this Raganuga Bhakti, because they think, because it's said there that Raganuga is the Bhakti of Krishna's eternal associate.
Oh yes, Raganuga is not. Yes, Raganuga is following in the footsteps of the eternal.
On the very next page, actually.
Yes, their love for Krishna is Ragatmika. So Raga means attachment, and Atmika means, of course, their self-existence. So their existence is attachment to Krishna. But
That's Ragatmika.
yes, Anugata means to follow. So Raganuga means to follow these devotees who have Ragatmika. Yes.
Regarding this Gopi Bhav.
Yes.
They had a Radha Damodar party
Yes.
where they had traveling Radha Krishna deities. I think the only one.
Once they formed a Gopi Bhav group. You think this one?
This is another story. They had Radha Damodar in the bus.
Yes.
And they had to bind them because
Yes.
Krishna and Tamar Krishna or something.
Yes.
So there was a deity, Radha and Krishna.
Yes.
And these buses were going on preaching to Harinam Sankirtan.
Yes.
And one time, it was Harikesh Prabhu who told this. One time, everybody, not just him, not just two, everybody in the, because that was like the temple bus. Everybody saw that Radharani's, the deity's eyes went up like this.
When?
Huh?
When?
And they were all traveling. After they went up,
Yeah.
like this, you only see the white.
Really?
And they all understood that she's in total ecstasy going on Sankirtan.
River.
Because that preaching party connected so many people.
Yes. Exactly. This is what I was talking about.
Yeah, exactly, that's why. It was a comment.
Yes. Yes. Thank you very much for this comment. Yes. Beautiful. So Radharani was in ecstasy when they connected her particles in union with Krishna. Yes, this is.
Yeah, and all the devotees understood it. It was clear.
Yes. So this should be our life, to serve Srimati Radharani. And this is Gopi Bhava. It's not something artificial imposition on our mind, but to dedicate our life to service. Yes, please.
Hare Krishna. One time, one devotee mentioned that one can start Raganuga immediately, but he cannot follow it unless he is on Nistha or Ruchi. I think he said this is mentioned by Rupa Goswami in Bhagavata-dharma. Is it true?
No. The qualification for Raganuga Bhakti is deep longing. Yes, loba. And it is described in Ragavartma Chandrika. Tat babadi madhurye shruta tireta pekshati natra shastrim na yuktim cha tat lobopati lakshanam. Yes, we should acquire loba, which is not based on shastra or logic, but pure greed for the mood of the residents of Vrindavan. Yes, and then when we acquire this greed, somehow or other, by mercy either of Krishna or devotees, Krishna tat bhakta karunya matra lobaika hituka pushti margataya kaishit iya maragana gochate. This greed is obtained either by mercy of Krishna or a devotee. Yes, and therefore this path is called the path of mercy. Yes, many times. Raganugochate. This Raganuga path is called path of mercy. So before we develop this greed by the mercy of Krishna and devotees, it's no question of Raganuga. Yes. So we receive this mercy by Srila Prabhupada himself, by following Mangalarati, as I said. So please, if anyone has this possibility, join Mangalarati every day. Yes, this most intimate possible program that exists. Yes, we should know what we are singing, of course, and long for this bhava. And Jayapataka Maharaj said once that if we don't have desire, this loba, we should desire to have loba. And if we don't desire to have loba, we should desire to have this loba.
And loba means
Greed, spiritual greed for this
greed and longing.
bhava, of this nature, of these emotions of gopis towards Krishna.
Isn't that very close to the word laulyam?
Laulyam, yes, is also strong desire. Laulyam is...
Almost like synonyms. Or
yes, it's very similar, actually. Laulyam, loba. Yes. But we should know, it's ridiculous. Once I read also that some devotee wrote, of course, it's complete... she just made up. That starts with Shraddha. That there's two, according to his idea, which is wrong according to Shastra. And that it starts with Shraddha. Vaidhi Bhakti starts with Shraddha, and Raganuga Bhakti starts with Shraddha. There are different parts, but it's not true. Of course, for Bhakti, the only qualification is Shraddha. But for Raganuga Bhakti, we should develop Loba. Without Loba, there is no Raganuga. Hare Krishna. Anything else? Yes, please.
Well, I think you are invited for another lecture to explain for us the Mangala Arati song, so it will be very nice to hear.
Hare Krishna.
So one thing, but I have a question, because it was very nice, the presentation of pure devotional service, and I realized I kind of over the years I forgot about the pure devotional service somehow. but there are, it's not very clear for me, because I mean, Srila Prabhupada, he mentioned that we can pray for our health, for example, which is a material desire, and sort of like the desire for liberation, but we add there, oh Lord, if it is your desire, please help me, whatever. So it's still within the frame of pure devotional service to pray like that. And Srila Prabhupada once said also to the answer, one of his disciples was asking, Srila Prabhupada, why shall I pray for anything like that, of my needs? Because Krishna knows my needs, he's in my heart. And then Srila Prabhupada answered, but it is because this is our nature. We should always go to Krishna like a small children, we in this way approach actually Krishna more personally. That's how I understood it. And there is also one verse, if I would remember very, it's in Srimad Bhagavata-dharma, 11th canto, 12th canto. There is a verse which says that if one is like, for example, in an urgent need or in a big trouble, one is just taking shelter of Krishna and praying, save me. Krishna takes it as a beautiful prayers of pure devotion. This kind of like cry for Krishna, which is actually still devotee wants to be saved, but it's like not pure, but for Krishna is pure. So I don't understand these things. If you could kindly put some light on that.
Yes, thank you. This is very important because we can see many different ideas. Srimad Bhagavatam explains everything in perspective of pure devotional service. For example, in second canto, there is one famous verse: Akama sarvakama va moksha kama udarati tivrena bhakti-yogena yajeta purusham param. That either we are full of material desires, or we are without any material desire, or we desire liberation, we should engage full-heartedly in Tivra Bhakti. Tivra means intense devotional service. So, what does it mean? If we perform Tivra Bhakti, then even if we are full of material desires, we will eventually, by our sincerity of devotional service, lose these material desires. And the example is Maharaj Dhruva. Yes, he desired kingdom greater than his great-grandfather, who was Brahma himself. So he wanted greatest kingdom than Brahma, whose kingdom is the whole universe. So, and he turned to Krishna with this desire to achieve such a kingdom. But his bhakti was tivra, very intense. We know from explanation of Srimad Bhagavatam how he fasted and he was standing on one leg and so on. So his devotional service was really tivra, really intense. And so much so that Lord he himself appeared to him, and then he realized that all my desires were just like broken pieces of glass. And now I have received the rarest jewel, and he became pure devotee. So, what you have said is true, that we can pray especially for others. When Srila Prabhupada was not feeling well, devotees were praying for his health, but he nevertheless instructed them to pray if this is your desire. Krishna, if this is your desire. Even Lord Jesus prayed, please let this cup of suffering go by me, if it is your desire. But not mine, but your wish let be fulfilled. Yes. So, because the Lord knows the best what is the best for us and for others. So, and it is explained what is pure devotional service. Jiva Goswami explains that if there is sudden threat like we go through forest and tigers jumps upon us. So if we just react and scream, Krishna save me, this is not obstacle to pure devotional service. But if we are not in such position, then prayers for material benefits, of course, this prayer for Krishna to save me from the clutches of a tiger is material desire. But in this case, because it's natural reaction of the body, it's not an obstacle to devotional service. But if we otherwise, when not in such a predicament, sudden predicament, we pray for material benefits, it is not counted as pure devotional service. And Prabhupada mentioned many times that yes, children turn to their parents for different boons. Please give me this, give me that. But we should grow up and then start to serve our parents. Not expect service from them anymore, but we should start to serve them. Prabhupada emphasized this. I believe you also remember this because he mentioned many times.
But the border, I mean, it's all about what is the motive, intention. Because what I understood is that Prabhupada prayed to Krishna to live longer. He wanted to.
Yes, this was only service motivated.
Yeah, but for that he has to live longer. He can, I mean, his body has to live longer. So, and he asked for strength because he is more than 70. And to do that, you need. He already had 3 heart attacks by that time. So, yes, his motive is just service, but he's still praying for, say, facilities for that.
Yes, we should pray for service. Yes, if we are instructed by spiritual master something, we should pray to Krishna, please help me fulfill my spiritual master's desire. This is important to understand. He was not praying because he would like to protect his life just for his life's sake. But he had a great mission on his shoulders from his spiritual master. And he used his life to fulfill the desire of his spiritual master. And so he prayed to the Lord, please help me in this way. And this is the proper mood of praying. Yes. Yes, please.
In relation to this, there was a forest fire in Krishna book, and then the cowherd boys, they immediately prayed for Krishna to save them from the forest fire.
Yes.
And it is mentioned that their prayer was also pure devotional service because their feeling was that Krishna will not be happy if they were devoured by
the fire. Yes. Yes,
that I will not be happy if I'm gone, but Krishna will not be happy
Yes.
if I'm finished.
Yes. If all his friends will burn in fire, Krishna wouldn't be happy. Yes. It's true. Yes. Very nice example. Yes, please.
So I'm not sure if it is true. I heard it somewhere that when Rupa Goswami says Anya Vilashita Shunyam, the word is Anya Vilashita, not Anya Vilasha.
Yes.
So Anya Vilasha means any material desire.
Yes.
Anya Vilashita means the tendency for material desires.
Yes.
So desires for basic maintenance, like you need food, So if you desire that I get prasadam today, is it contrary to your devotional service? I get enough sleep, I get enough food, I get...
Yes, as you said, Anyabilashita means the tendency to desire anything else than devotional service to Krishna. And this is our fortune, because if it would be Anyabilasha Shunyam, that means that we should be completely devoid of all desires. So we may have unlimited desires. Who can count how many desires have conditioned souls? So, but we should have this mood. Please, Krishna, help me to get purified. I want to get rid of all these different desires. And I just recently read in one of the purports to verses in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srila Prabhupada writes that we shouldn't ask even for prasad, for anything. We should be satisfied with whatever we get. Yes. And whatever situation are we in, we should be satisfied with this. Yes. So these basic desires for our survival are natural. But we should completely depend on Krishna. At least our desire should be in this direction, that we depend on Krishna more and more and more. Yes. And less be afraid. And crave for different facilities like good prasadam, nice place to stay, and other things. Yes. Yes.
Related to that, sometimes like if a devotee doesn't care for oneself and just goes with the flow, whatever is coming in my life, let me just go on, and doesn't plan properly, doesn't...
Yes, we shouldn't understand wrongly. We should take care of our body because it's not ours. It's given in our care. For example, if you are employed in some company and you're given a car to drive around, so you use this car for company purposes, and you should maintain the car very nicely, otherwise you're punished. So we are given this car, this body, for the purpose of using it for Krishna's service, and for this purpose only. And we should maintain this car or this body very nicely. Yes, we are responsible for maintenance of the body, which is not ours. We shouldn't mix this. It's wrong idea. This is my body. Nothing is mine. It's Krishna's property, and it's meant for his service. So we should take good care of it. Yes, we should exercise regularly also. Yes, because this is the proper maintenance of this vehicle. But we shouldn't cultivate desires for our sense enjoyment, because this is also, again, misuse of Krishna's property. Because it's meant for Krishna's enjoyment, not for our sense enjoyment. Yes. Hare Krishna. Yes, please.
Yeah, I just wanted how Prabhupada gave this pure devotional service. That he translated Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yes.
And it was the mission of his life.
Yes.
That's what his spiritual master told him, and he did it. And Srimad Bhagavatam establishes pure devotional service.
Yes. Thank you for this comment. Yes, he dedicated his life to write books about pure devotional service. He emphasized so strongly. So we should take this knowledge very seriously and apply it in our lives. Otherwise we'll miss the rarest opportunity we have. Hare Krishna. I think we should stop here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Pramanandi. Hari Hari Bol. Please accept my